Welcome, this is Nathan, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a scenario when Angola forms an empire. Continuing on the empire series in alphabetical order. Angola's not next. However, we've already done Albania, we've already done Argentina, we've already done Andorra. So Angola is next, because I have not done Angola, which I'm shocked. I don't know how I've not done Angola. So, Angola, don't know much about them. I know they're a mid-tier strength country in Africa, but I don't know much about them. Especially this whole ex-slave. I have no idea how that happened. And they're going to be challenged a lot, actually, with expanding. Because they already border, like, 4 countries, and those are the DRC, Zambia, Republic of the Congo, and Namibia. And there's South Africa down to the south, Nigeria up to the north, and the DRC and Kenya over to the central and east points. They're going to be buffed. They're always buffed. And, like, it doesn't really matter for the scenario. NATO, all that's disbanded. But their first target is going to be Namibia. Also, last video 2025. Crazy to think. Now, Namibia. I don't know much about it. But all I do know about it is this exclave, which the British basically gave to the Germans as a joke. They got really valuable land for it, but, you know, whatever. So, Angola is going to be buffed. So, let's begin this. So, Angolan troops will mainly focus on the coast, and will also begin pushing down to the centre, which I believe is where Windhoek is. Now, Angola's mainly going to focus on the coastline here, as this is the most valuable part of Namibia. And they're going to continue going down this way. And they're going to begin just slapping the hell out of them. Namibia is extremely weak. So they make a push for the capital with really no... Obviously there are going to be forces here, but Namibia is not strong at all compared to Angola, even without the buff. They get down to Windhoek and capture it. And at this point... Somebody's sticking their nose into someone else's business. South Africa joins the war. Now, this is similar to what I was just doing. They're claiming that they want to they're freeing the people and also trying to reclaim lost land, because Namibia used to be part of South Africa. But, Angola's like, seriously? Now, obviously, Angola isn't going to want to fully annex Namibia, but they were hoping to take a good chunk of it. But now that South Africa's in the war, that's going to be a bit harder. So, Namibia will just surrender, hoping for the best. They surrendered to both South Africa and Angola. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. Taking a look at the peace treaty, we can see that South Africa is not going to get much land. And this is going to make them upset, but to be fair, Angola did most of the work. So, suck it up, because Angola did most of the work in that war, so, yeah. Now, this is going to make Angola huge, but not really that strong. This land isn't, like, valuable. Now, I guess, no matter what land is, it's going to be valuable, because countries are countries. But, Angola is now huge. That is, very interesting looking. They are very long. South Africa will be annexing all this. So, be happy you got back some of Namibia. But, Angola's huge. But, where do they go now? Attacking Botswana would probably would probably activate something similar that happened with Namibia, with you and South Africa both jumping in there and taking all the land you can. Zambia, they're not strong, but... Yeah, the DRC, you're not ready for that. You are stronger than the DRC, but that's just the terrain. Oh, the army, the population. Yeah, no. So even though they probably know that South Africa is going to get involved, they decide to attack Botswana. And they're risking this because, you know, South Africa could very easily start preparing for war against them. Troops will move in and begin taking over land, and the thing is, the capital of Botswana, which is Gaborone, it's on the border of South Africa, so South Africa will basically be able to capture that within the first few weeks of the war. So, yeah, Botswana is getting destroyed in this war. Botswana might be stronger than Namibia. I mean, they still have a lot of good resources, so they might be stronger. But Botswana's getting absolutely just obliterated in this war. And what would you believe it? South Africa's joining the war. Wait, what? That is... no. South Africa joins the war, and it's kind of like at this point, the world is like, what is going on in Southern Africa? South Africa will move in and basically capture the rest of this land except for this area. So, yeah, they'll capture all this except for that land, just ignore it. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. Now, South Africa definitely did push their way around in this peace treaty, because they got a lot more land than Angola, or more valuable land, I guess, if you want to say that. But Angola will still be getting a bunch of land. Yeah, a bunch of land. So they'll be taking over all this land. So this is very valuable land they're taking out. Very valuable. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm talking. It's valuable. Don't get me wrong. Again, all land is valuable because all land has some sort of use, no matter what it is. Unless it's Antarctica, because I don't know what you're going to really get out of Antarctica. South Africa will get the southern part of it, which is definitely the more valuable part because of the major cities and all that. And here's our Angola Empire so far. We're also, for some reason, beginning a South African Empire, which is very odd. It's not really your video, and you probably will not have another video because you already have your own video. Now, attacking Zimbabwe would most likely begin another race between you and South Africa. So I wouldn't suggest doing that. The DRC, once again, you're not ready for that. But, Zambia. Yeah, that's where they're going next. Angola will declare war on Zambia, and Zambia is going to beg for help, but nobody's going to listen to them. So, yay! Time to beat up Zambia. Troops will move in and will begin taking over as much land as they possibly can. Now, Zambia might be the strongest country that they face so far. But again, it's not going to do anything when you're way more powerful than them. However, when they do get close to Lusaka, which I believe is the capital of Zambia, they actually experience a lot of pushback, and they begin to get pushed back a little bit, and that was embarrassing. But yeah, reinforcements are here, and boom, bap, there goes your capital, and yeah. At this point, Zambia is like, okay, just take all the land you want, but please let us exist. And Angola's intention was not to fully annex Zambia, but I guess let's take a look at this peace treaty. In the peace treaty, Angola will be taking a huge chunk of Zambia. Now, the land that South Angola's acquiring, it is useful, but they want developed land, but the thing is, the developed land in Africa is up here, arguably here and here. Also, this isn't enough for the dictator. So let's attack Zimbabwe now, shall we? Let's attack Zimbabwe. Oh, wait. South Africa's already doing that for us. So yeah, in a very interesting way, Angola and South Africa almost exactly declare the war against Zimbabwe like the exact same time. Yeah, very odd, but yeah. So this is going to be a very quick war, because Zimbabwe's going to get absolutely smacked here. troops will flood in from Angola, who recently just invaded Zambia, but, yep. They'll be able to take over the north, and the south is going to go over to South Africa, because, yeah, it was like they declared war almost at the same time. And South Africa is going to begin to get mad. Now, why? Well, because every single war, this war was meant to be theirs alone. South Africa wants to expand, and I mean, there is Lesotho and Eswatini, but they don't give much. Zimbabwe's all those resources, so they're a bit mad that Angola's been involved in all these wars, even though they got involved in two of the wars, and Angola and South Africa declared war on Zimbabwe at the exact same time here. But, yeah, let's take a look at the peace treaty. Taking a look at the peace treaty, we can see that, yeah, they kind of got the exact same amount of land, mostly because the country was split right in half, so it was kind of hard to divide it. But yeah, Angola's now huge, but, this isn't enough. And, they could continue into Mozambique, and as nice as it would be to have access to the Indian Ocean, I think they want to flex their muscles. They've been invading all these not really weak countries, but, like, these countries who aren't, like, really weaker than them. But, I think it's time to flex on one of their strong neighbours. And who's that going to be? The DRC or South Africa? Yeah, they're taking the easy way out. They're doing the DRC. Yeah. You thought I was going to make them declare war on South Africa. No, they're not going to do that. Angola will declare war on the DRC, beginning their most toughest war yet. Almost immediately, Angola, I need to say Algeria, Angola will cut off the coast of the DRC. This is going to cripple their economy, because, like, the DRC's coast is very vital. And then they're going to send troops into this southern area. Now, the DRC is a huge country, so this is going to be a very hard war, and unlike Algeria, where you just need to take the coast, you need to take over a good chunk of this country, because it's mostly rainforest, but yeah. A third division will exit out from here, and we're going to pushing upwards into this more populated area. I'm really not sure about the population density of DRC. But not too long before that, we see the connection of these two military groups. And we see the beginning to the push towards Kinshasa? I'm not sure. They get right by the city, and they begin the most bloodiest battle yet. Now, they are going to try and be careful to not attack Brazzaville, which I believe is the capital of the Republic of Congo. They don't want to drag them into this war. They already have enough on their plate. And, yeah. Troops will now exit out from all borders of the DRC and will begin moving in. And the DRC is officially ready. They have got the army mobilized, and they're now fighting back. So this entire front over here is going to just turn into a massive stalemate. But at this point, somebody's going to be joining the war. And this could be bad, very bad. South Africa joins the war on the side of the DRC. Oh, poop, says the leader of Algeria. Algeria. Why do I have got Algeria on my mind? Oh, poop, says the leader of Angola. That's not good. A country who is way stronger than us just joined the war. What are we going to do? There is, like, nobody we're going to be able to get involved to help us. Well, there might be some people to get involved that can help you. Hey, Mozambique. Yeah, okay, you'll join the war. They also got Lesotho and Eswatini to join, promising them land. I wouldn't join the war, to be honest, on their side. But, most interestingly, they get Ethiopia. Now, how's that going to work? Well, I don't know. Because Ethiopia is landlocked, so how are they going to get to them? Well, Kenya decides to join this war. And, the East African Federation's completely split now. Kenya just joined the war, and the East African Federation was already, like, planning on joining the war. So Kenya joined the war on the side of South Africa. It's weird, and it would never happen, but it's because I need Ethiopia to be able to supply, whatever. Now, Tanzania, I think it's the leader of this alliance. I don't know if there's a certain leader, but I feel like Tanzania is the leader of this alliance. Tanzania is like, hold on, Kenya, can we maybe not? And then the rest of the group's like arguing, and it begins to get heated. We see Uganda and Rwanda join the side of Angola. Yeah, that's not good. And then, Sudan joins the war. Now, why have they joined the war? Well, because I need to switch colours, but I'm not switching colours. It's mostly because South Sudan just joined the war. So, that Sudan decides to join on the side of the war. And at this point, Tanzania is like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Zambia joined the war, though. Maybe that'll do something. Well, probably won't. So, yay! It's time for Africa to die, because this is not good. Now, Egypt could join the side of the blue team. I'm not gonna lie, they probably would. And that would probably destroy this entire thing, but I'm not gonna do that. Zambia, they just joined the war, but Angola just moved their troops into their country. And Zambia is like, okay, well, Zambia is already war-torn, so they are completely obliterated here, so they're just going to surrender. The DRC is now panicking because there are now troops from Rwanda and Uganda exiting out into their country, so yeah, you're now fighting a two-front war. I'm sorry whoever likes South Sudan, there is no chance they're surviving this. Sudanese and Ethiopian troops are exit out from here and begin moving into the DRC. The DRC will now have to move troops up to this front line, and this is not good, because now, this is happening. And that very bloody battle, well, Angola just won it. But, not to worry, because South Africa's here. Now, South Africa is a very powerful country. Like, this is going to be really hard to beat. Lesotho and Eswatini, they're dead. And, so, what's dead? Mozambique's capital. So, yeah. And, oh dear God. South Africa is just flooding into this area because of how undefended it was. Now, obviously, troops have been moved down here, but ouch. Yikes. Oh, God. So, yeah, South Africa has one hell of a time just walking through Angola, and Angola is panicking because this is not good. So, they might need some more help, because by the time they take down the DRC, which is definitely coming up, it probably it'll probably be too late, because they don't have enough, they can't really take troops off this front line to move down here, but they are going to try and do that, but Angola are spreading themselves very thin out here, so they're going to try and get another ally. Did they get anybody? No. Tanzania is not getting involved. Burundi is not getting involved. The ROC is not getting involved. Madagascar and Malawi, they do not care. They really do not care. They would gain nothing from it. So, Angola's going to attempt something called Blitzkrieg. They're going to take two strategies from World War II, Blitzkrieg and mass conscription that the Soviet Union did, and use it here. With this, they push right over towards these guys and cut the DRC in two and destroy the hell out of the DRC, who is gonna just surrender. Yeah, they're just gonna surrender. They're not gonna surrender, they're not gonna completely give up by that. But they just decide, the government surrenders, but the military doesn't, so just whatever. And, well, about 1 million troops, that's a lot for a country like Angola, are just going to smash right into South Africa's thing here, take it over, and, well, they're going to push down into Namibia a little bit and take some land over there. And, yeah. They just used up all their manpower. Oh, poop. And now they're using, they're having to conscript. They're just giving people guns and telling them to go find the front lines. So, Angola's going to be like, okay, hey, South Africa, let's just make peace. I take a bit of land, you take a bit of land from Mozambique, and everything will be right. Happy, right? And South Africa will be like, sure. Now, I mean, they could probably beat back Angola, but like, once Ethiopia and all can... Anyway, let's take a look at this peace treaty. Whew, there's a lot to go over in this peace treaty. Yeah. So, beginning in the south, Angola is going to be gaining these two sections of land, which, you know, it's good. So yeah, Angola will gain these two areas of land from South Africa. And, you know, to be fair, considering the fact that South Africa actually accepted that offer. Now you might notice the reason they accepted it is because I'm arguing here. They're gonna get way more valuable land. They first off get all of the Sofo, all of Eswatini, and like half of Mozambique. In my opinion, that is worth it. That is worth it if just kind of they lost these lands. Now, that's not it for Angola. They are going to be taking a huge chunk out of the DRC. And, yeah, they did the most in the war, and they were the first to declare war. So they get the most land in this peace treaty, so yep. Don't mind, they are not going to complain about this, because this is a lot of valuable land. Now, I'm not sure if the DRC kept Kinshasa or not. Do I care? No. I would love to add capitals to this map, but I'm not sure how. Now, Mozambique does gain, well, they do get that, but honestly, I'm not... If I was the Mozambique leader, I'd be very upset at Angola. Now, Zambia, they're not going to be able to function on their own, so they're going to join the DRC. They could join, like, Tanzania, but I think it'd be better off to join the DRC. Rwanda is about to double in size as they take over all this land. Uganda gets all of this. And, Sudan made a deal, like, they kind of made a deal with Ethiopia here. Ethiopia wanted to part of South Sudan, but Sudan was very hesitant, so, like, in the peace treaty, Angola came in and was like, okay, how about you take a piece of DRC, which was not planned, but if you take the piece of DRC, will that make you happy to give up that land to Ethiopia? And they said yes. One, because they're not going to get much better than that. And two, they're still getting back most of South Sudan. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I really enjoyed this video. That's what if Angola formed an empire. They are now huge. So, yeah. I really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.